After a short 1 week break, the Formula One circus gets moving once more, this time to the legendary Spa circuit. This place is legendary, of course, since it is one of the most iconic racetracks with the track layout more beautiful than you, dear viewer. So great racing can be expected here, right? Well, this place is iconic, but racing hasn't been good here in probably a decade, if not more than that. Current Formula One has almost become incompatible with the Spa circuit, and it is sad to see, especially because now the place will be on rotation with other tracks starting in 2027, and I don't know, it's tragic. It's like if they did that to Monaco. Sure, the racing is god awful, but these tracks are iconic for a reason. Well, what are we gonna do about it? You came here to hear about how this weekend of F1 will be, so let us discuss that. Silverstone saw yet another non-Mercedes victory, once more taken by Ferrari with Charlie Kirk, and guys, are Mercedes starting to become a little vulnerable now? Because all weekend long, they did not look to be the fastest, and even if Kimi was gonna win before his car issues happened, he had to work for it. Could Spa potentially replicate this, or will we be back to Mercedes dominance? Find out shortly. But the title situation is also starting to look a bit more spicier since, with Kimi getting a whopping total of 0 points, George and Lewis are inching closer to his lead, and one more bad weekend here and it could be total Armageddon. So enough of the padding. I think this weekend will be very interesting, good racing action or not, so let's get straight into it. Let us find out which teams we should watch, the drivers to watch, the stories heading to the weekend, and of course, my predictions for this very interesting weekend. Subscribe if you love waffles and whatever else Belgium is known for, and let's get to quacking now.
See those clouds up in the corner? That's where the rain is coming from.
As always, we have the teams to watch first up, and this weekend should be a big one. More ADO upgrades will come here for certain teams, and because this is a power-dependent circuit, maybe it could have some influence. We say that, but as you will see later, things will be different, but very much the same. Anyways, let us talk about the one and only Aston Martin, because guys, this weekend will be huge for them. Oh my god, do they have that B-Spec car finally? Will Daddy Lonzo win again? Slow down. Spa is a power-dependent circuit with lots of high and medium speed corners. What are Aston dog shit at this year? Power, medium, and high-speed corners. Oh god. If you think Aston have been terribly asked this year, you have not seen anything just yet, my friend. Now, a miracle can happen, but given everything we know and history has shown us, Aston Martin will be so terrible this weekend, you may shed a tear. God forbid what the Aston fans will actually feel. So why do I mention them here? Because I want to see just how slow they really will be. F2 will be present at Spa this week, so keep it on the time since they may be closer than Newey would like, I'd imagine. Next up is Cadillac though, who can maybe do something this week. They won't be getting points or getting near them, however, maybe ADO upgrades should come for Caddy, and with Silverstone being more of a testing weekend than a competitive one, surely they now understand the upgrades they brought in Austria, right? If everything goes perfect for Cadillac, they won't be in points contention, but one more upgrade package and shit, they could be. Cadillac have been so impressive to me at least. Caddy started the year off horribly as everyone predicted, but where most also said no glimmers of hope would happen at all, Cadillac have low-key proved everyone wrong. For a new team with such a short amount of time to get ready, Cadillac are developing pretty well, so let's see how Spa and the future rounds can go. Next up is Audi, who can potentially be good again. Audi are bringing some good upgrades here, along with just being at Spa in general. That Audi car is pretty terrible at low-speed tracks, and for the past couple of weekends have been struggling because of that. Well, thankfully, Spa is a pretty high-speed track, along with needing lots of power, so Audi should be in points contention, dare I say. Plus, they are bringing some upgrades here that should hopefully alleviate them of some of their issues, and overall, Audi could very well start to contest Alpine and RB soon, because make no mistake, Audi have a good car. What drags them down is of course the low speed weakness, but mainly their engine, which is fine power wise, but terrible reliability wise. If these issues can be ironed out slowly but surely, Audi will be a very delicious midfield seat soon. And with Hulkenberg on his way out, well, rookie can fill in his spot. I'm getting off track. Audi should have a decent weekend here, so let's hope I'm right. Now for the top dogs, and let us begin with McLaren. McLaren have been so disappointing this season. They are struggling in every way this year, and it's such a downfall from 2025. However, the next couple of rounds could see major shifts upward for the Papaya team, and one can only hope so. Look, I hate McLaren just as much, if not more than everyone else, but the more teams fighting at the top, the better, obviously. I think McLaren can soon enter the fray, and one can only hope reliability stops to be as prevalent talent as it is, because truthfully, Lando has been driving his ass out this year, and his results unfortunately don't reflect this. Spa will be a better weekend for McLaren, and the next couple of ones will likely be the same thanks to some juicy upgrades that McLaren are bringing. Next up is Ferrari, who are in hot water now. Mercedes will be fantastic here, but that's for later, and McLaren could be in the fight soon. Where will Ferrari stand? I actually think Ferrari will be good here, since in the corners, they will be absolute demons. All I'm saying is those Sector 2 times will be dominated by Ferrari, and the quality gaps will be extraordinary. And as for the straights, they may lose out hard, but how hard is the question? Will it be close that the corners make up for it, or will they simply be outclassed on the straights? And for that matter, let's throw in Red Bull here too, since they are the reverse. They will dominate those straights, but will their cornering ability be their downfall or their equalizer? I actually think Red Bull could suffer more, especially if their spinny wing is taken off due to the crashes recently by Max. So interesting weekends are ahead for both Ferrari and Red Bull. However, perhaps it is all for naught, since Mercedes are our final team to talk about. Let us keep this short. They are bringing upgrades here, and in essence, they could be untouchable this weekend. If their cornering upgrades work to great effect, they could defeat Ferrari in that area, and just like that, we are back to 1-2 slop. But who knows, that's just a prediction. But overall, expect Mercedes dominance unless Ferrari gives us a fight or their upgrades fail for once. Now for the driver to watch this weekend, and unfortunately, I'm doing him again, Kimi Antonelli. I say we should watch Kimi this weekend just like in Silverstone, because that race obviously saw Kimi have a guaranteed win stripped away from him thanks to a car issue that is just so unfortunate. His engine didn't blow up, but he may wish that it did, because if something so insignificant literally stabs a car to death just because he drove a little too much over the curb, it could strike down his confidence. He could start to drive more conservatively and safe, which leads to his form and results stopping. Spa is going to decide this for Kimi. Will Kimi still drive the same way that won him all those races in a row, or will he perhaps start to change his style and suffer as a result of it? Personally, I hope he doesn't change, because watching Kimi drive is such a show, but it is ultimately his decision, so let us see what the kid does. It is time for the stories heading to the weekend, and let us begin with some good old Max Verstappen drama. So the British GP was just not a good weekend for poor old Max. He was performing good in the race, but was outqualified hard by Isak, and even in the race, crashed out with a few laps remaining that took away a potential podium. Red Bull cited how the rear wing failed just like in Austria qualifying, and all of this is to say Max Verstappen is not a happy camper right now. Factor in how Max hates these cars more than a Discord mod hates a shower, and what is sprouted up in recent times? Some delicious driver transfer rumors. Ah, I see. More Max to Mercedes rumors. What is this, every year now? See you guys in 2027. Well, these rumors surrounding Max are actually not related to Mercedes for once. Instead, the team in question is McLaren, which no. See, Max to Mercedes makes some sense, since Toto has had eyes on Max since he was a little kid. That don't sound right. And Toto really wants Max to drive one of his cars. Plus, Mercedes are the best team right now, and the best driver usually warrants the best cars, you know. So what the hell do McLaren have to offer? What, Max's wife is going to McLaren to potentially be team principal? Whoop-de-fucking-do, man. Why should Max care about that? McLaren are struggling to build a good car that works well at most tracks. I have no doubt they could figure that out, but by that time, Mercedes would have already perfected their design, or perhaps Ferrari would have built a fast engine for once to complement their great cornering car. Mercedes and Ferrari are still way better options for Max should he want to win titles again. At McLaren, I just see them as taking too long to get back on track for Max's standards. Plus, the actual main reason why he won't move, brother, who is he replacing? He for sure ain't replacing Lando, since that man bleeds papaya, so he is replacing Oscar, of course. Imagine that, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen at the same team? That is such a disaster waiting to happen, which certainly ain't helped by McLaren's inability to even control Lando and Oscar in 2024 and 25. So please, spare me of the Max to McLaren rumor, since it is just so nonsensical from every way you look at it. It would be the sidestep of the century should Max do it. So again, no. Moving on, we have more rumors to talk about since there of course are the Oscar to Red Bull rumors. So Max Verstappen is not a happy camper this year. We can certainly see that much. Many are saying he retires this year or I guess goes to McLaren, which either way Red Bull are left without a high caliber driver. They have Isak sure, but he is not ready to lead the team to wins and podiums just yet. So they need someone to fill in the void that Max will leave behind, and Oscar Piastri is apparently their main man. Oscar has of course been at McLaren for a while now, and while he has had successes, it's clear Lando is the main man. Oscar can still win despite this, but that's if he can win. This year he is struggling hard to understand the McLaren car, while Lando is understanding it better. Of course, both struggle to earn results when the engine keeps blowing up, but point is, Lando is driving the car better than Oscar is this season. Why should he have to suffer there when he could instead get a move to Red Bull courtesy of Max's retirement and have treatment he never had at McLaren? There is the possibility that Isak could put up a fight, but I doubt it. Despite me bashing on the Max to McLaren rumors, I actually really back the Oscar to Red Bull rumor since it just makes sense. In the history of predictable driver moves, this would be up there since it benefits everyone involved. Red Bull have a high caliber driver to get results while they wait for their talent to flourish. Oscar has a team where he can finally breathe. Isak has a good driver to compare himself to and get better. I personally think this move makes perfect sense, but hey, I've been wrong before, many times in fact. But finally, let us quickly discuss Franco Colapinto. Now, the man hasn't murdered someone yet, but he might. Alpine were recently asked what they think of Franco and if he deserves another year. Alpine then said, he could be doing better and is actually low-key disappointing us. Brother, what? Now, they did say that if he improves enough, he will be re-signed unless there is a better option on the market. Okay, so they acknowledge he's improving and taking strides, but brother, what? I thought Franco was a part of the Alpine Academy now. Why else snatch him from Williams? You signed him away from them because you think he's that much of a talent. Now you are backtracking, especially when he is performing really good right now. In the past few races, he has been right there with Pierre, if not ahead of him. This is not form. This is now class, since with the exception of Monaco, it's been every race since the April break. I mean, he has massively improved his game, and you're gonna push him aside for fucking who? Paul Aron? Guarantee if they do that, by the way, they will be talking about how Paul is disappointing the team and wishing they still had Franco. I mean, what do Alpine want out of him? To win a fucking race? He is doing everything he can after a disastrous 2025 season. The last thing a recovering Franco needs to hear is how Alpine don't trust him despite him finishing right behind or just ahead of Pierre for God knows how many races now. It's just such a weird thing to say by Alpine. Now for what you've been waiting for, my predictions for the Belgian Grand Prix. As always must be stated, they will predict 3 things: the top 5 in the qualifying, the top 5 in the race, and a random prediction from any session. It should also be noted that these predictions are based on nothing but pure vibes, so bear with me. No sprints to worry about this week, so now for the main qualifying predictions, and I predict that the top 5 on Saturday, starting with 5th, will be Max Verstappen, 4th will be George Russell, and 3rd will be Lewis Hamilton, and 2nd will be Kimi Antonelli, and for pole position I have Charles Leclerc, who is entering some pretty good form now. Now for the race predictions, and starting with 5th I have Lando Norris, and 4th I have George Russell, and 3rd I have Lewis Hamilton, and 2nd I have Charles Leclerc, and the winner of the 2026 Belgian Grand Prix is Kimi Antonelli, who starts to win once more in the sport. Time for my random prediction. I think sometime in the weekend, both Cadillacs will have issues forcing them to stop running. Also remember, for a chance to appear in the winners and losers, go join my Discord to make your predictions. So that was the preview for the weekend. I don't know guys, I'm kind of iffy about this one. Spa is such a great track and I don't want it gone, but at the same time, it produces some boring ass races that are terrible to watch. I really wouldn't mind that rotation idea, so let's see what the future holds for this legendary circuit. Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out to Amarillo Vlog for their continued support, and make sure to join if you want cool benefits as well as just helping me out. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe since it really helps me out, and make sure to let me know in the comments what your predictions are. And as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.